Now we turn to our legal breakdown tonight. President Trump's instantly infamous call demanding election officials in Georgia take action to reverse Donald Trump's loss to Biden in that state. Trump asked officials to, quote, find him new votes. It's essentially a call for voter fraud numbering in the thousands. Acting on that request would, of course, be a crime. So, was it a crime for Trump to make the request?
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state, and flipping the state is a great testament to our country. So what are we going to do here, folks? I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break. We have that in spades already.
Legally, there are no votes to find because the election and the counting are completely and legally over. Biden won Georgia. Trump lost. Now, there's a huge political and moral debate, as we've been discussing tonight, but it's also across the whole country, over the sitting president blatantly trying to overturn an election. That moral and political debate should continue. Right now, we turn to the precise legal question. Did President Trump break the law here? Now, the answer could really matter more than other Trump controversies like the infamous Ukraine shakedown, targeting now President-elect Biden, or a lot of what went on in the Mueller probe. And the reason is most of those key legal issues in both those long-running controversies, they were federal. And presidents do have broad powers over federal law, and the DOJ counsels against prosecuting presidents when they're in office, a debate we may all remember. Here's what's different tonight. This one is largely about state crimes, where Donald Trump, like any other president, has no immunity and no special role in overseeing that government, period. Now, on the call, Donald Trump repeatedly pressed the officials to find him votes in this state election that he clearly lost. Now, let's just look at the key state law here, which says it is a crime to ask another person to commit a crime. Specifically, if you solicit or request another person to engage in such criminal conduct in Georgia, you yourself committed a crime. Now, experts say finding those votes would clearly be a crime. And that makes sense. If an elections official knowingly tried to just fraudulently create 11,000 votes, that's a major felony. The legal question narrows down to whether Donald Trump's talk was therefore a solicitation or request under this state law. That's the issue. Now, you can't just prosecute someone if they were having general musings or just sort of daydreaming and talking. It's got to be that solicitation or request. Now, remember, Trump continued on these themes that sounded to many like requests, telling the Secretary of State how to find those votes.
The people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated. You have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find answers. Why don't you want to find this, Ryan? What's wrong with you?
Recalculate, re-examine with the right people doing it. That's not a legitimate request for an election that's over. Some experts say those very words I just read to you are actually the kind of cover words that experienced criminals use to try to make a very clearly wrong and illicit request sound somehow more technical. We don't need to embezzle this money. We need to recalculate it in a way that gets us more money that's not ours, which would be embezzlement. Now, this is exactly why Donald Trump could be in so much hot water in Georgia right now. I should note, because we always want you to have all the facts and all of the context, any person in this situation, including President Trump, would have potential legal defenses. For example, just being really confused is not illegal. One legal defense would be Trump arguing that he genuinely believes that he won Georgia, and therefore an accurate recalculation would somehow find that he did actually win, as he believes. But that's a different interpretation than hearing his repeated calls for finding and recalculating as a request to commit fraud. Now, recent history, I got to tell you, is just not kind to that potential Trump defense. Trump has some problems here. Georgia did 2 recounts, and they did an audit. And then there were several independent judges who affirmed the results of the election and those recounts and audits and tossed Trump-friendly challenges. And that makes Donald Trump's incessant demands over the weekend to find votes that aren't there, even as Georgia officials reminded Trump of that damning history that I just went through, makes it all sound a lot more like a knowing and intentional solicitation or request to engage in criminal conduct. Now, this criminal question is not up to current acting Attorney General in the Trump administration, Jeffrey Rosen. It's not even up to his DOJ replacement in the Biden administration. It's certainly not up to Donald Trump. And it won't be impacted any way, no matter what, by any potential Trump pardons, even a potential self-pardon. In fact, a federal pardon is worth about as much to defendants in Georgia as a ticket to Donald Trump's second inauguration. It's irrelevant in Georgia's courts because it does not exist. What will matter is evidence, facts, and of course, what local prosecutors determine. A key one, speaking out today, Fulton County DA, telling the world, I will enforce the law without fear or favor anyone who commits a felony will be held accountable. If that's true, and there's no political or VIP special treatment here, then the whole question will really just turn on whether legally and factually this was a felony. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.